everybody, and welcome to today's video. I get to talk about Mario Golf Super Rush today. This is a game that I have been looking forward to quite a bit. It is Nintendo's new big release on the Switch, and this is a first review, impressions review if you want to call it that, because I haven't had too long with the game. I only got my review code for it today, so I've only put a couple of hours into it. But I have got a sense of what this game's about, and I wanted to do this video to talk about it because I have a long history with Mario Golf, and I was a little bit concerned with this title going into it. For me, both Mario Golf and Mario Tennis being the two major Mario sports titles, back on the N64 and the Game Boy, the GBA and the GameCube, these games were very much an authentic take on the sport. They were certainly accessible and arcadey, but they still have the core essence of the sport captured within them. I've felt in the years since with the later titles that they've become very gimmicky based, and in doing so they've certainly been more active, more action paced, and more, I guess, accessible for people who aren't used to those sports. But at the same time, I feel like they've lost a little bit of the essence of the sport. So I certainly have felt that about Mario Tennis. I haven't been enthusiastic about a Mario Tennis game in quite some time. And I have felt the last couple of Mario Golf games start to go that way as well. So I was worried that this one would be taking that direction too. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to be the case. Now again, this is only my first play, but in the couple of hours that I have spent with the game, I've played through the first course in single player mode. I've dropped into the career narrative story mode thing just to see what that's about. And I have tried this new gimmicky battle golf thing that they've added in as well. And across the board, I'm very impressed with it. If you just want to play golf, then you can do that. And it has Camelot's expertise in making arcadey, accessible golf mechanics enjoyable to play. That is definitely in this one, which is good to see. If you do want to play the more kind of gimmicky golf, then battle golf will certainly capture you. I've played one game of that. I lost badly and I was a little bit confused about how it all worked. But basically, it's kind of almost like it's inspired by MOBAs, really. So there are a number of golf holes spaced around the level, and your goal is, against three other people, is to capture pins by hitting the ball into the pin and capturing it that way. And those pins are strategically placed around the level, so you hit the ball, you've got to run over to where that ball is to take your next shot, and first person to get the pin gets the hole. There are also all these kinds of power-ups to use, and it is very manic. The reason I lost my first match, as you will see in this video, is because I just kept getting blasted all over the place, and I wasn't quite sure what I needed to be doing to defend myself, to attack my opponents back, and all that stuff. It's something that will take a while to get used to, I think. But my initial impressions of Battle Golf is that it is definitely going to last people. If you are into that kind of arcadey, action-paced, fast-paced sports game experience, then Battle Golf is something that I think will have that nuance and also the fast-paced thrills that will really hook its claws into you. So I think that was a very inspired choice to add into this game. It doesn't need to be the core. You don't have to play that at all if you don't want to, but it is there, it is well-rounded, and I think it is a good addition to the basic golf game that is also there. Now, as for story mode, I am very much looking forward to spending a lot more time with the story mode, because it is what I really want, I think, from Mario Golf in a single player. So the thing was, my favourite Mario Golf game is actually the Game Boy Color one, which was just called Mario Golf. And the reason that it was designed around the single-player experience. So it came out about the same time as the Nintendo 64 Mario Golf. But where the 64 one was very focused on the 4-player mode and didn't have a story or anything like that, they realised that people playing the handheld game would probably be playing single-player. And they included this RPG-like story in there, which was very simple, of course. But your character would level up as they won holes or courses, and you could level up their stats. You could really customize your golfer based on how you like to play. And you could also wander around talking to other characters. And while it was all very simple, it just had the full essence of an RPG thing in there. You'd move from golf course to golf course. You'd eventually take on Mario himself for the big trophy. And I played that through 8, 9, 10 times. As a kid, I obviously had more time than I do these days and fewer games to play, but I did spend a lot of time playing that career mode, story mode, RPG thing, and it seems like on first impressions, they've actually captured that exact experience in this one in a very authentic way. So from the opening moments, you kind of walk out of your little clubhouse, which is your base of operations at the start, and you have this really lovely view of this village, which you can wander around. You can talk to all the various characters before getting your first set of golf clubs, because you're playing as a rookie, and then you go off to the driving range to play a mini game and start to get into the game. You don't actually hit the courses for a while. I haven't done so yet in my own playthrough, but it all has a good sense of place and being, and it has that sense of Mario kind of RPG, Mario sports RPGs, which I've felt has been lacking to a lesser or greater extent in a lot of recent Mario sports titles. As for the game itself, it took me a little while to get used to the mechanics of it, because I have been spending so much time with Clap Hands Golf on the Apple TV. You may remember that earlier in the year, Apple released a whole bunch of games on its Apple Arcade. One of them was Clap Hands Golf, which is the developer of Hot Shot Golf on the PlayStation has gone and made this really, really addictive golf game for Apple TV, and I've been playing that an awful lot. So moving from that, which has very similar accessibility and kind of arcade mechanics in it, to this was a process, in the sense that it took me a while to get a feel of the physics engines and the way that the courses feel kind of constrained, at least in the first one that I played. It feels like there's not as much room to hit the ball. The courses are more kind of tight. I don't know if later courses will open out a little bit more, and this is just because it is the beginner's course, but for now it seems almost like a mini golf course design in the way that the various greens move, and that is fine. Once I got used to it, it all works. And also it took me a while to get used to the power bar and all of those kinds of things. But what they've done really well with this game is very much streamline it, so you can get in there and feel like you're hitting the ball quite nicely within the first couple of holes. You'll be getting the nice shot results, which is great. You'll be able to use your character's power-ups, which are fun, and they do seem to add something without detracting from the core golf experience right now. The putting is always a big deal with golf games, and with this one it becomes quite easy to get a feel for the way that the ball will roll on the greens. So within the first couple of holes I was quite comfortable with how this Mario Golf game played, which is what they want. Ultimately the value in the single player mode, ultimately the value in the basic golf game as they presented here will be in playing at multiplayer. And of course there is online and local multiplayer, and you can play with single Joy-Cons per person as well, so it's very easy to get a multiplayer game going. But yeah, ultimately the long-term appeal of this will not be so much about mastering the courses, because it never has been with Mario Golf, and I can't imagine it will be in this case. It will be about competing with your friends to get a good score out of it. What else can I say about it so far? It is very pretty. Very, very pretty. Camelot has always been really good at presenting really nice looking games on whatever console they're working on. This one has done that as well. It has all the personality of all the characters in there, whether you're a fan of Yoshi, Mario, Wario, Waluigi, whatever. Bomb is for some reason a character in this one. Whatever character is your favourite, then you'll get a good sense of personality from them. The environments are really lovely as well. It's all very colourful, bright, and they've done a great job with the Switch hardware. I haven't played it in handheld mode yet, I've only played it docked, but I can easily imagine that this will translate well to the handheld on the Switch as well. It is... Otherwise, I really don't have too much to say right now. This is all off the cuff. I didn't actually record a script because I wanted to get something together straight away. Once again, I will have a full review up on digitallydownloaded.net next week, but for now, my review is that this thing's great. Don't hesitate in going out and buying it. If you've enjoyed any Mario Golf game at any point, this one I think will check the boxes. It has the zaniness of the later Mario Golf games. It has the story mode if you're into that on the single player and on the handhelds back in the day. And I think that story mode is capturing the essence of the old Game Boy Color Mario Golf. And it has just plain golf. If you just want to go out there and putt the ball around, you can do that as well. So it looks like Camelot has really listened to the full gamut of fans of Mario Golf over the many years, and this one does seem to be something of an ultimate package. The only disappointment I have at this stage is there doesn't seem to be too many courses, but we'll have to wait and see. I may unlock some additional ones later on. These courses may actually get very difficult and challenging, and I may want to spend a lot of time practicing some of the later ones. I'll have to wait and see. But you can wait for my full review for that. Otherwise, if you have enjoyed this video, if you do enjoy my work, please do consider backing me on Patreon. You can do so for $1 a month, and by doing so, not only do you support all the written reviews I do, as well as all these videos, but there is a digital magazine that you get each month as a Patreon backer that is exclusive to Patreon backers, and it goes in depth with all kinds of interesting things about Japan, Japanese culture, Japanese video games of course, but also anime, film, books, whatever else. And as I always say, please do mash that like and subscribe button, because that way you won't miss any of my videos. I do quite a few of them. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say right now, so have a good week everyone, and we'll see you at the next video.